Okay, so now we're going to go to the farm. We're going to go to Cubbie Station up in Dirranbandi, and please welcome to the... Why don't we bring all of you up to the panel first? So James, Paul and Jim, can you all come up to the panel? So Paul is from Cubbie Station, Dirranbandi, and he's going to give us an overview of where they see the world at the moment and what your thoughts are from southwest Queensland. Please welcome Paul.
Good morning, and first of all, thank you, Mike, for the kind intro. And I will start with an admission, and it's the red phone admission. Pete, I am 52. I am challenged by technology, and I did use the bag phone. Okay, let's start it off. Well, okay, my topic today is ag on the global scale. And I want to talk through over the next period of time in regards to the Cubbie project and how we identified how Asia can bring advancement for the Aussie agriculture when foreign investment, innovation and growth align. I will focus on some key points here. Foreign investment, the global lens on the operation, innovation, growth and the opportunities and challenges that come with it. Some facts about Cubbie. Cubbie Ag's property aggregation is owned by CS Agriculture Proprietary Limited. CS Agriculture Proprietary Limited is an Australian registered company. It was incorporated back in 2012, primarily for the acquisition. Today's shareholding consists 80% of Shandong Ruyi, the Chinese organisation, and 20% by Fletcher International. Firstly, Shandong Ruyi. They're a significant global player in the cotton space, but not only cotton, wool as well. They started off in wool back in 1972, but over the last decade they have rapidly advanced with the take-up of cotton, and particularly cotton, a high-quality cotton. And they've expanded their operations, not only spinning, but then advancing to fabric production, and then focused on the textile output. They have major business partners, one of those business partners being Indigenous Corporation out of Japan. They're an organisation that rolls over $50 billion per year. And they've also got significant joint investment in the spinning sector with Samsung Corporation. Fletcher International. Fletcher International is a privately owned company based there at Dubbo. And there are incredible advancements with the integration of processing and exporting lamb and meat. They've got significant world-class processing facilities and processing a staggering number of sheep and lambs per week. They're very diverse, and they've also diverse to be able to capitalise on and value add to their supply chain. And grain and cotton has become another featured bolt-on commodity to their outfit. In 2015, this is a significant point, in 2015 Fletcher Train was introduced, and it operates out of the Fletcher Intermodal Freight and Logistics facility on Dubbo, managing that element of the supply chain into the port of Sydney. Joint venture partnership. Ruyi's interest in Cubbie took a number of forms, but for finally settling on a JV with an Australian investment partner, along with involving an Australian management company. Ruyi was apprehensive about the FIRB process and about purchasing the property, along with the requirements around managing the property, and also obviously being in a foreign country. But those concerns were quickly resolved when the joint venture was structured. Partnerships with local operators can make that foreign investment process less risky and daunting for all concerns, right through the investment chain, government chain, and obviously all users and business participants. That Australian management company, it's obviously, to state the obvious, it's of experience in foreign investment, particularly on both sides, being an investor investing in a foreign country, as well as obviously entertaining foreign investment here within our shores. Working with a local partner well and truly eases that level of apprehension that I talked about before. And the management company can also bolt on to to operations by way of supporting the shareholder engagement, corporate reporting, and obviously capital management. So add-on features that can well and truly aid to the overall the running of the business. And the country, there's no question, needs more responsible and strategic investment like Ruyi's. Corporate governance, I'll rattle through this, pretty straightforward. But in Cubbie's case, we've got a board of 5 directors with 2 independent directors. The chair of CS Agriculture Proprietary Limited is the chairman from Shandong, Ruyi. Board meetings are held regularly, and the normal corporate governance applies when it comes to agendas, minutes, ops reports, WHS reports. I mean, that's just standard, but it's obviously critical. And the management structure, I mean, out there on the ground, as anyone was out there 10 years ago and we're out there today, I mean, it's the farming culture, the family farming culture that was created now, some pushing 3 decades ago, continues on. And that's the investment that was made, was in that family farming culture. And it's business as usual out there on the farm. So we got the benefits from the shareholders. Well, I'll state the obvious, Shandong Ruyi is one of the largest cotton processors in China, and it gives us great market insight. Fletcher International has an extensive trading and logistics experience in agricultural commodities. And the shareholders have a whole chain of view approach, and that was obvious by the expansion or the rapid acquisition and expansion of the Dirranbandi Ginnery at our doorstep. And obviously the base shareholders have great global access to capital. The global lens. We've had several delegations visit Cubbie Station over the years. We're fortunate, I mentioned the Itachu Corporation there before. We've had the president and CEO of Itachu actually standing in the middle of a cotton paddock, getting in the road of cotton pickers running up and down the paddock. But that's the scale of the doors that have been opened with the foreign investment involvement with Cubbie Station. Some textiles have been out. So just it is an ongoing aspect that needs to be considered, that you're continually entertaining overseas visitors. And vice versa. I've had the pleasure of heading out to the opening of a new Shandong Ruyi spinning mill in Ningxia province, that's inland China, some 1,600 kilometres inland from Shanghai. And while the opening was occurring, there's also a Chinese Textile Association annual conference, global conference, and featured there in China. And I was fortunate enough to be in a position to be able to be promoting Australian cotton. Just quickly in relation to that spinning mill, stage 1. This went from a approval process. Within 18 months, they were spinning 125,000 bales of cotton, on their way to now spinning 1.25 million bales of cotton some 2.5 years later. And there we are. That was the opening ceremony. And for those in the cotton industry that are sitting in the room today, see on the top right-hand corner, we've got some premium strict middling Aussie cotton running down the left-hand side, and some China cotton on the right-hand side. There's an incredible interest in the Australian cotton from our Chinese spinning mills. Second stage of the trip is visiting cotton farms out in Western China. I've been out there on 3 occasions now. An interesting part of the world. They produce some 12 million bales of cotton. That's 3 times the Australian production when we're in reasonable producing years. Their top 20% are producing yields similar to Australia. So that was an exercise of knowledge swapping and talking general farming, cotton yields and water efficiency. The supply chain. Just want to talk where Ruyi has come from, and particularly in the calendar year of 2013. Their investment, spinning, textile, retail, with viewing an opportunity around raw commodity supply and first stage processing. By the end of 2013, this is how it looked. It's an incredible rapid rise in their cotton investment. They've invested in Cubbie Station and other assets in the commodity supply. First stage processing occurred, the investment occurred. They increased their spinning capacity, they increased their textile manufacturing capacity, the major investment in logistics, and major investment in energy, and energy being a significant item on their P&L. They just saw it was a glove fit that energy, the investment in energy was absolutely critical. And then from there, by the end of 2013, it was retail, retail, and more retail. Some of the take-home messages: promote Aussie ag whenever there's an opportunity. Encourage overseas investors, industry visitors to learn more about our agribusinesses. Participate in discussions with the overseas industry visitors, and if the opportunity arises, do take it and travel into Asia and, for that matter, other parts of the world. It's obviously spent time in the US as well, but of late it's obviously been an Asian influence to head and spend more time over there. But do take that opportunity if it arises for you guys. Just a quick summary as to where I see just general investment into agribusinesses. If you're an ag producer, I mean, align yourself to be in the top 20% as a producer. Fortunate enough to invest in processing as well, I advise you to do so. Corporatise the family business. Get your accountability in-house, your WHS, your best management practices. This all bolts together to give you a great platform to go forward with promoting your business. Also, it's critical to promote your team's internal expertise. That IP is, we've got to unlock that. You guys coming through, and all the bunch of newbies on the block. We want to promote you guys as hard as we can. Offer investment in tangible assets. It's just not a business offer. It's the overseas investors. They like to kick the clod. They like to start a siphon. They do appreciate that aspect of the business, and then critically just get across your due diligence. Make sure you're across it, and adopt that no surprise approach. Okay, some foreign investment key summary points. I truly believe that Cubbie Ag is a classic, an excellent example of how foreign investment has made a major contribution into Aussie ag. Management is allowed to focus on returns, on maximising returns. And the governance and risk is well managed by the board. And finally, foreign capital is an important part of the ag industry. Okay, I'm going to pop on to innovation and growth, opportunities and challenges. Sorry, it's rapidly ripping through these slides, but we have got plenty of time restraint pressures, I hear. Innovation, growth, opportunities and challenges. Okay, there's the journey, the capital inflow journey into Cubbie. The senior capital was injected back in 2013. Major milestones in November 2013, a 20 mil injection of capital into acquiring the local ginnery. Within that business plan, it was promoted a $5 million capital upgrade to that ginnery, and we increased the efficiency and the capacity of that ginnery by some 30% by doing that. And just of late, it's a move into the next paradigm, is a significant investment into renewable energy, and watch that space. Innovation, the on-farm innovation. I mean, there's plenty of discussion around that. The whole ag industry is rapidly running down this track when it comes to water efficiency, energy efficiency, yield, and R&D. And there's not a week goes by that we should not be congratulating the R&D people associated with our industries. To see the increases in yield, the technology that we're using these days, they need to be applauded every day of the week. I want to focus on post the farm gate, looking at processing, logistics and customer interaction. So we set out with a goal to unlock additional value for our commodity. This is a typical cotton vertical supply chain from the farm gate to the customer, and various steps along the way where we head to logistics and ginning and warehouses, and there's agents involved, and then there's more warehousing and more agents involved, and then you throw in some finance, and look, that's how it's shaped up, and continues to do so in some sectors. But from our perspective, we went down this path where, and this is obviously on the back of the linkage to the foreign investment, but we got to know our customer. Very closely, and understood the needs that they have, and then vice versa. The customer got to understand, well, what we're getting up to back out there on the farm. And in that relationships conversation, they're introduced to ginning and warehousing and logistic discussions, so they got the full picture. And then, if the relationship's right, capital and finance will flow with that relationship as well. So that's how it looks there in a simplified approach. And okay, maybe I've oversimplified that, but taken out a number of steps along the way. But there is a lot of opportunities to be involved and engaged in that process. So don't think it's a carve-out exercise. It's far from it. It's just creating the efficiencies within. And another aspect of promoting your commodity, in one particular year with 250,000 bales of cotton, that leaves the Cubbie Dirranbandi ginnery with a calling card on it, the brand Cubbie Station, Excellence in Cotton, it leaves. And along with it is promoting our best management practices story and a small Cubbie story as well. So branding, critical. You position 250,000 bales throughout Asia, and they open up the container and the Cubbie Station brand's attached to it. Well, they will remember that if it's a type of cotton that tick the boxes for their spinning mill. Friends over at the ANZ just popped that graph to me there some time ago, but the critical point there is that when it comes to cotton, that the majority of the spinning mills are located in Asian nations. This slide came to me there back in 13, and still to this day it's opening up where the opportunities do sit. And if you look at China, South Asia and Southeast Asia, the blue, red, the yellow, that's where we're heading, that's where the commodities are going to go, and that's fact. We did come out of a spike there in 11-12 when particularly China were building up their reserve, but they've strategically built up that reserve. We haven't seen the influences on the market that some traders thought we may have seen, and they have managed that stockpile to a point where there's still stockpile, but for every bale of cotton out of China that's to be ginned, or every 5 bales of cotton out of China to be ginned, they truly love putting a bale of Aussie cotton against it to help with the quality. Countries like China do have an excess of capital available, and they're keen to invest, and particularly where they can get involved with the P&L, understand that the P&L will deliver on a better bottom line. They like that story, as we all probably do, but more so the overseas investors. And these guys have a wealth of knowledge and experience, and with this whole supply chain, and there's a hands-on experience as well that you can tap to. Some of the challenges. Need to talk about some of this. Communication. There is a substantial reliance on regular dialogue, particularly in the startup phase, and clearly adopt a no surprises approach. In regards to finance, it's ideal to partner with a finance provider who is active in the particular region that you've built up the foreign investment relationship with. Internal issues within the Australian shores. Australian government policy needs to be consistent and robust. Our senior politicians are the decision makers around, clearly when it comes to foreign investment, and they need to be consistent, and the policy needs to be robust. And another critical point is the timely delivery to market. I can see it being an issue that's coming 20, 30 years, is that maintaining that pathway to the market in a state that we have been used to over the last decade, with timely and efficient deliveries into the Asian Rim. There's a lot of commodity that needs to make its way to the ports, and infrastructure upgrades are absolutely critical. So as you guys walk around the corridors of governments, if those choose to head down that path, the pathways to the market need to be well and truly maintained. Okay, in closing, foreign capital is an important part of the agri-mix. Strengthens the industry, innovation, deeper integration, global marketplace. It's in the Australian marketplace, we have got a capital shortfall, so there's no doubt foreign investment can help plug that capital market capital shortfall, and farms and associated businesses need capital and foreign investors. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity, and I hope that I get to meet a whole bunch of you guys as the day goes on. Thanks very much.